Morning, everyone. We're up and moving, and Ivy and I both had some breakfast, and it's about 11 o'clock. I slept in just because I didn't sleep real well last night. My shoulders kept getting cold, but I'll tell you what, I know it sounds weird, but the tent was hot, and my shoulders were cold because we were sleeping on the ground, and all that cool air that was rushing in to feed the stove kept hitting my shoulders, just cold kind of all night, you know. And Miss Ivy over there decided to steal my sleeping bag and where I was supposed to sleep. So when I tried pushing her out, she'd just get back in. So finally I just had enough. I slept on the pad for her with her blanket, and she slept in my sleeping bag. So yeah, I don't know how cold it got last night, but like I said, in the tent it was warm except for where that cold air was rushing in. It did rain again last night. Rained quite a bit after I got done eating. So yeah, it's fixing to be a decent day. You can see some sunlight out there, which is really nice. And prior to having breakfast, Ivy and I took a walk, and I was looking for some firewood, and we ended up finding some. It's a lot of it's cedar though. I'm not a huge fan of cedar, especially in the wood stove. What with the tent, because it likes to spark and pop. And last night I, was half asleep when I saw all these sparks come shooting out of the stove, and a couple of them landed on my tent. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way around that. I'm thinking about getting a spark arrestor for the stove there. The other thing I'm thinking about doing for that stove is making a secondary burn chamber. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting another piece of metal, mild steel, making an L shape so that the flames actually have to go up, around, and back out in order to do that. I feel like that would give it better even heat on at least the top, on the cook surface. Because yesterday it took me 2 hours to boil water when I've been out, with an open fire. Granted, it burns it burns more wood quicker, but man, you can get some water boiling super quick. So that's just one of the ideas that I have. But as far as dumping heat into the tent, good God, it's got to be 140 in there at times. Even the dog was like, "Yeah, I'm going outside for a little bit." She'd go outside. I had her tethered to the tent pole, so that way she wouldn't go too far because again, we were sleeping. So getting firewood this morning, which is this is a good transition. Getting firewood this morning kind of made me think about all the people in Germany and Europe and all those places that are having a real hard time right now, because of Russian gas and oil. And even places in the Midwest, United States, are having real bad issues. Oil's gone up 40%. Looking at inflation and just all sorts of bad news all over the place. But one of the things that I like to do, and it's always have a backup plan, right? So when we first bought the house, we didn't know it at the time, but it was actually plumbed illegally. It would be the wood, or the oil stove was plumbed in the same chimney as the wood stove that we had at the time. So I called somebody and they said, well, you can't even work on it. Like it's illegal to even work on this. It's like, what do you mean? Well, they just changed the rules, so of course, it was okay 6 months ago, but now it's not. Now they're not even willing to work on it. I said, okay. So Corey and I, we spent the first winter just burning oil and burning wood, kind of this. In the second year, we kind of started thinking, well, we're gonna have to make a choice here. So the second year, as opposed to burning wood and oil, I would burn wood the majority and then use the oil when we weren't around or something like that. So last year, finally we decided that it was time to get a chimney sleeve. So what we ended up doing. Well, let me preface this. I kind of saw the writing on the wall when our oil prices kept going up each year. It was just a little bit more, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall. And I'm not above hard work, obviously. So I decided that it would be in my family's best interest to just switch to solely wood. Here's the thing about that. Out here, there is plenty of wood. There is never ever going to be a shortage of wood. It's impossible. There's so many trees out here. So that's what we decided to do, and we cut our heating bill from $2,000 a year to $1,000 a year. That's just from cutting out the oil. but we also have electric. We have infrared heaters, you know, with things like that. But I just wanted to kind of, you know, you gotta pay attention to the writing on the wall. You know, I guess I had this discussion here recently. I don't understand why anybody would only have one source of anything. You know, especially to heat your home. I mean, that's a huge deal. I'm kind of surprised that, you know, there weren't there weren't other systems in place. You know, and again, politics. Don't trust Russia. I mean, you know, we've always known not to trust Russia. That's never been, you know, we've always known not to trust Saudi Arabia. You know, and like I said, I don't understand why we only have one way of heating, or one way of heating their homes. You know, even with a vehicle, man. I live in town, so if I need to, I could ride my bike to wherever I gotta go. You know, and work provides me a car, so not that huge of a deal. You know, it's all about having secondary systems and backups, and it's just like going camping. You know, I had a water purifying pump that just went dead. Well, luckily I have 3 other ways to purify water. You know, it's all about backup systems to your backup systems. So I'm gonna get back to work cutting some wood here, and we're gonna go fishing here hopefully within the next couple of hours. But I'll catch up with you guys in a bit.